And I think this is something that a lot of business owners will probably struggle with as well, is this feeling that the team doesn't care as much as you do. And the reason we think that is because on something like social media, they just don't post and talk about it. And you can say it a million times to your team, guys, post, share more, talk more. The more we all talk, the more noise we make, the more we all win. But I think a big thing that we did differently this time was that we had realized that we were sick and tired of saying the same shit all the time and the same results were happening. Yeah. So instead of that, I think two things happened. Number one, we identified what mediums and what type of content people actually wanted to do. So rather than telling everyone you need to hold a camera in front of your face and speak about a program or something you love, if your preferred medium is writing, then write. If you want to talk, then post videos and be on the podcast. Find your thing. If you want to stand behind a video and create things on YouTube, we have our content guy, Johnny Boy, who can help you do that. And I think that was the first thing, which is taking this pressure off that we all need to be the same and, really allowing people to find their thing and to do what feels most comfortable for them. Now, I will just say the person who is able to portray their message on loads of different platforms in loads of different formats is going to win. Yeah. Because the more you can diversify yourself and get the same message across, the more people you're speaking to. But taking that pressure off people, it's like start small, start where you feel comfortable, start where you're good at. And I think the second part to this was actually you starting it and me kind of assisting you in this, in actually educating people on how to be better, how to be more effective on things like social media. So you actually started sitting down, and a lot of this came about when we started moving to fixed salaries, where people now had a responsibility to run their own social media pages. And we started to talk about the importance of building a brand, building a personal brand. And, you actually put in a lot of time with people. You help people just create their own graphics. You started talking about like how to really speak to a niche, how to speak to your audience. And what that has done, it's kind of like created a spark in terms of people now feeling like they actually have the skill set and the knowledge to now actually go out there and create their own content. And before that, we hadn't done that. And we just kind of expected that people would know what to do and how to do it. So I think, those two interventions have made a massive difference and an impact in now probably to the outside consumer how much noise we look like we're making. And we're still not there. We still don't have all team members fully on board. We still have people who feel a lot more comfortable on it than others. But we know the more we can all start talking about and be on the same page, that's when we're going to start to have really big impact. So just baby steps in terms of getting there.
I think just for me, a last point on that, and which I've always told the team, and in my talks I've had that too, is like, you need to be fully on board and fully invested in something that you say you are. And I think it's just honesty and communication is like, well, don't say yes to me if you're not actually going to be comfortable doing something like that. And don't set that expectation with me if then you don't actually mean it yourself, right? Because like, it's clear to see that you super love LPC and it's so easy for you to talk about it. And I don't need to hound you on those things because you fully are on board and you fully invested and you know exactly how and what to say. Same thing we're seeing now with Tammy. Like, she 100% believes in this nutrition lifestyle program and habit changing. And so it's so easy for her to talk about it and create it, right? And so we're slowly seeing that in everyone. But it all starts again with an honest conversation with yourself, being like, what do I actually believe in? Am I aligned and doing what I actually truly believe in? Because then it should be easy. Like you said, yes, it's hard work, but it shouldn't be like pulling teeth and you're not looking forward to it. It should be something that excites you, but yes, you have to work hard for it, right?
Yep.
And I think, again, what you and I always say is like, people are the product in an online business. Like, especially in one like ours where there's just so many options for it, people are no longer choosing the program. Like we said in the beginning of the podcast, people are choosing us. And if we're believable and people value us and trust us and relate to us and want to be part of our family and community, they look at us first. They'll look at our pages and be like, what are we talking about? What are we doing? Are we practicing what we preach? You know what I mean? And from that, they'll be like, fuck, I want to be part of this family. Oh, I want to be now coached by her or him. Like, I want in. And again, like, that's what's so important about a personal brand, especially in our business, is like, we're selling ourselves. No matter how bad that looks, is like, we're the people want to be a part of, not the program.
Yes. You just reminded me there's one big thing we completely forgot to talk about, which was going back on our prices, on our price jump.
Yeah.
We'll finish two things. We're going to talk about this and then we're going to finish with what we have coming up in the future. So just as you were talking there about, wanting to work with a coach, we had realized when we increased our prices, and I actually kind of had this epiphany going on holiday to Bali and speaking to loads of people there and everyone knew about the process, which was really cool and really surprising, actually. First time I'd been outside the bubble in 3 years. And I guess my question was like, if everyone knows about the process and if everyone's saying how good of a program it is, why is everyone not on it?
Yeah.
And, speaking to a lot of, I think, more the local Indonesians in Bali who are coaching there, the general consensus was I just can't afford it. And so what these people, they were all on other programs, but other programs which were charging between $30 to $40 US. And, we were charging almost 70 US. And so it just got me thinking, maybe actually not everyone does want feedback from a coach, because I knew that what these people were paying for in these other programs, they weren't receiving feedback, and they were totally okay with it. They weren't complaining about it. They also knew that we were offering a program that did offer individual coaching and feedback, but they just didn't really seem to want it. So I remember a couple of times I put polls out on my Instagram just to confirm my hunches, to say, with your online training, would you prefer a coach give you feedback, or would you prefer to self-guide it yourself? And every time it was a 50-50. So I was kind of like, well, hang on, there is a market out there. Maybe we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot by only limiting ourselves to work, to offer ourselves to work with people one-on-one. And actually, maybe people do just want a training program. Maybe people are really self-aware. Maybe they have their own little communities where they train with and they don't need that kind of
accountability.
Yeah, accountability and deeper connection with a coach. And so that's when we kind of decided, right, let's try this. We have no idea how it's going to go, but let's offer a second tier of programming, which essentially includes everything,
including the community.
Everything.
Yeah.
Except for the individualized coach.